Put your name on it. Just put your name on it. That's all I say. Be a man or a woman. Put your name on it.
This is Jay Mohr. If you want to listen to more stories, if you want to listen to it, Audible has it. With over 85,000 titles in virtually every genre, you'll find what you're looking for. Get a free audiobook and 14-day trial today by signing up at www.audiblepodcast.com/J. Listen, help me out, help the podcast. Go to www.audiblepodcast.com/J and you'll get a 14-day free trial. Even if you don't buy anything, just go to that website and click it, and it will help the website. Even if you don't want to go in the water. I went to audible.com/J, and I actually put on my iPad Ball 4, Jim Bouton, which brings me to our guest, baseball related. Jeremy Guthrie, you got to get close to that mic. You got to vomit into that mic.
Well, I don't have a little screen like you, so
I don't know why.
Sure
I think I have a screen because I spit so much when I
it's
talk.
Like you're singing like Bieber.
Never say never.
And never say never.
Jeremy Guthrie, pitcher for the Baltimore Orioles. First of all, you tweeted earlier today that you were more nervous now than if you were pitching OD. I don't know what OD meant.
It's not overdose, thank goodness. Never pitched overdose, although we've read that does happen.
That does happen.
Wow.
In Jim Bouton's Ball 4.
Does it talk about it in there?
Oh, yeah. Everybody's all whacked out.
Yeah, not surprising.
What does OD mean?
Not overdosed, but it means opening day.
Oh, really?
Opening
Were
day.
you the opening day starter for the Orioles?
I have been 3 times.
Who was it this year?
This year it was the Tampa Bay, here come the Rays!
No, who was the pitcher?
Me.
Oh, okay. So the last 3 years was you?
No, last year was Kevin Millwood. The 2 years previous.
That's fucking bullshit.
Well, you know what? It happens.
I know you don't swear. You're a nice Mormon boy.
I'm not going to be swearing on the podcast. Hopefully
You don't have
people
to swear.
Don't stop listening.
You don't have to swear. So you pitch opening day in Camden Yards.
This year was against
the Rays.
David Price and the Rays down at the Trop in St. Pete.
Is that a shithole?
You know what? It's become one of my favorites. So I've climbed up onto those catwalks. You got to come down sometime. We do catwalk races. You run all the way around. If you can make it in a minute and a half, I'll give you $100.
I'll make it in a minute and a half.
And if you fall,
I don't even know what it is, and I know I'll make it.
Come on, you see it on TV. Those catwalks up in the sky.
What? So?
Well, we'll see.
So you like pitching at Tropicana Field?
I don't like pitching. I just like going there.
But pitching there, because everyone knows people that play there, they have to like beg fans to come to Tropicana Field, and then they hand out like cowbells to simulate excitement. You can just bang your cowbell in the audience. It's like giving away rally sticks behind the free throw line.
Cowbell is probably my second favorite thing at the stadium. Love
I need
the cowbell.
more cowbell. Jeremy Guthrie's on the mound. Let's distract him with more cowbell.
No, they only do the cowbell with 2 strikes for the home pitcher, and they go nuts with it. All 2,500 of them just go absolutely nuts with the cowbell.
Have you pitched in Pro Player Stadium or Marlin Stadium?
Never pitched there, but I did pinch run there. Scored the tying run in the 9th inning.
Was that an interleague game?
Yeah, fast guy.
You were drafted by – I get a lot of criticism for going all over the ice, and I get sidetracked so easily. But I want to go back to Tropicana Field.
Yeah, don't leave Trop. Don't leave the Trop because there's plenty to be said.
Is it just like a mausoleum? Like, why don't people – it's a really good team, and it's an exciting team to watch, and it's a great pitching staff. Like, you got James Shields, you got David Price, you got Hellickson. It's a team worth watching. Why don't people in Tampa go see these people play baseball?
Well, people in Tampa don't go probably because it's a little ways away. It's about a 30-mile drive.
Well, Yankee Stadium's in the South Bronx. It's in the ghetto.
Yeah, but you can jump on the 4 train.
Yeah, but you're going to the ghetto in Tampa. You're just going to another part of Tampa, right?
Yeah, you know what? I don't know why. I like the venue.
Make something up. Give me like a wacky
pet the
story.
Rays out there. They should come to pet the Rays. Go at least pet the Rays. Go to the Trop.
Like David Price?
Pet the Rays.
You just sneak up on David Price when he's shaving and you just pet him?
No, you out in the right center field. They got the Ray tank out there.
No, I know what you meant.
And
the
I've only
first
lost
time.
a few fingers out there.
That was a little fruity, Jeremy Guthrie, knowing that you're just petting Johnny Damon's beard. Petting the Rays?
He doesn't have a beard anymore.
You're like, hey, Kelly Shopper, can I talk to you for a second? And he comes up to you and you just start petting his belly.
Let me tell you something. My favorite thing about the Trop is before every single game, they have like this crazy mix. Their radio guy or their announcer guy makes up some little jingle to introduce the game.
Really?
And so every single game, it's like, last night it was the Rays versus the O's, and they plucked the feathers of the birds. Now the birds are looking to fly back home on a positive note, but they got no wings. Watch the game now. Next. I mean, it's
Is it the radio guy?
I don't know who it is, but it's the funniest thing ever. So for now 4 years, I've tried to impersonate them, and we try to come up with, based off of the night previous, what they're going to say about the thing. And when I warm up on the mound on the left field line, if you ever come watch me at the Trop, you will see me straddling the rubber. I'll be warming up, and they'll start this little intro. I'll immediately look towards the scoreboard.
Oh, he says it in the in-house announcement?
Oh, yeah. It's right before they take the field. And so I'll be warming up, and they'll see it. I'll see it up on the board. I'll stop what I'm doing. I'll straddle the rubber. And then when it gets to the part at the very end where he goes, next, I'll mouth it with the entire bullpen watching. It's it's the greatest part of the whole game.
And all 1,400 Devil Ray fans in attendance go crazy.
I mean, one of my favorite ones of all time. I mean, 3 years ago, we're playing the Rays at home. Carl Crawford's on first base. And one of our pitchers, I don't remember who it was. I think it was Bergeson. Does a pickoff move, fires an absolute bullet over there. First baseman probably never even saw it coming, hits Crawford right in the nuts. I mean, smacks him right in the nuts. He's on the ground, rolling over, front and back, screaming.
Did the pitcher go, you could charge that to the game?
You could charge that. So he hits him. He's out of the game. We're down by like 4 runs. We come back and win it. So the
Kyle Crawford left the game with a bad nut. I'm going to do Harry Carey this entire. Kyle Crawford had to leave the game, hitting the groin with a pickoff attempt. You know, he's going to have a swollen ball. Ball won the grace.
So next day, I'm thinking about, if we were at the Trop, because we were at Camden Yards, what would they say? What would they say?
That guy.
What would that guy say? And everyone's looking at me like, what would you say? What would you say here? I said, this is it. I said last night it was the Rays who jumped out to the early lead, 4-1, but Carl Crawford took one in the nuts, and the O's came back. Watch now as they try to defeat them again. Next. I mean,
for those of you listening, I just stood up and I mouthed next, and the other 3 people in the room got really excited that I played.
I promise you, this is like in Twitter. You make a shout out, and all of a sudden you get a few extra followers. The Trop should have plenty of extra fans next year because I've just revealed one of the greatest secrets in baseball.
They're a radio guy. I get XM strictly for Opie and Anthony, Ron and Fez, and the baseball package because I'm like a fantasy baseball lunatic, even though he beats me every year. Matt Frost over there. Sportsrobe.com. Sportrobe.com. We'll get to that in a second.
I've got one. Kevin Millar has one. George Sherrill. I mean, amongst many, many others. Those are just Orioles who rock the sportrobe.com.
That's right. Yeah. I forgot what I was going to say.
Well, say it again. Sportrobe.com.
No, I really forgot what I was going to just say to you. All right, so pitching opening day. Do you remember what I was just saying to me?
George Sherrill?
No, he said George Sherrill.
Something about the Trop.
God, I have a...
the radio guy. The radio guy at the...
Oh, thank you very much. The MLB package, all the Twitter people are going to be like, you need Jeremy Guthrie all the time because he keeps you on track, JJ. The radio guys, when you listen on XM, it's the local guys, and all the new guys are just god-awful. They're all like copy and paste and, Jeremy Guthrie, they're terrible. But every once in a while, when I listen to like the Rays, for some reason it's a super old guy that does their radio home games, and it's Harry Carey-esque. And I was driving with my wife to Vegas, and I'm listening to a Rays. I had David Price on my fantasy team, and I'm just listening to David Price, hoping he eats up innings, get the strikeouts. And there's this weird long pause where you can hear like 2 pitches go by. Like you hear the pop of the mitt, you hear a little crowd ambiance noise, and all of a sudden the guy goes, "It's a jungle out there." And we just both started laughing like, what the? This is not TV, where like you see a shot of somebody dressed as a tiger. The guy just took a half an inning up. It's a jungle out there.
I'm sure you fooled a lot of listeners on that one.
Why do you wear number 46?
46, I was originally I was with the Indians, and I wore a number of different numbers, whatever they gave me. I kept getting switched out. They kept bringing a new guy who wanted my number the year previous. So I go over to the Orioles in 2007, And I show up in spring training, and this is a real anticlimactic story, just so you know. I show up in my locker, beautiful locker down in Fort Lauderdale Stadium, Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
I heard about it. It's real nice. It was all titsed out.
Yep, I got 2 lockers next to me, and boom, 46 is in my locker, and I put it on my back, and I haven't taken it off.
So they assigned you number 46.
Yeah.
What number were you before that? Wait, I bet he knows. I bet Matt Frost knows. 52?
57. If you could count, you would have been right on the money there. Use the count.
Hey,
the other
watch
hand.
it, fella.
Count the other hand too.
Look, I might not be Asian, but I'm smart enough.
You're a catcher's worst nightmare with the ability to count fingers right there. You're a catcher's worst nightmare. I swore you put down a 3 for a slider. I just put down 1, Jay. Oh yeah, that's why the fastball hit you right in the neck. My fault, Matt.
Matt Wieters.
Yeah. Oh, whoops. I only did it once this year. You would have done it.
But you had different numbers your whole career. How come?
My first year I got called up, I was 53.
Did you choose that?
No.
Have you ever
It's kind of
chosen a
taboo.
number?
In baseball, you take what they give you. You get grateful for being up to the big leagues.
There's a lot of guys that come up and they're like, "Yo, man, I got to get my 10."
There are a few guys that want their number.
Adam Jones got to win. Adam Jones got to win number 10.
I didn't want to be that guy. There are a few of those guys, but so they gave me 53 in September of 04 when I made my debut. Came back next spring training.
Indians.
That was for the Indians. Next season I come back and we had signed Arthur Rhodes, and he likes 53, has worn it his whole career. So they naturally took it out of my locker and they gave me 36.
He looks like McGruff, the crime dog, Arthur Rhodes.
He does. You know what? Actually lives in Baltimore.
He actually solves a lot of crimes. He goes out there and hits the street. He's
crime dog.
He's a peacemaker.
You know, there are a few peacemakers. Played with a couple of them. Scott Sauerbeck and what's his name?
Good old what's his name?
Oh my gosh, probably my favorite baseball player because of a scenario that happened to him. But what is it? Crazy Carl Sadler. These two guys tackled a purse snatcher in San Francisco and got on ESPN and the whole thing for it.
Were they pitchers or real players?
Both were pitchers, relief pitchers, lefties. So that's probably why they went after the thief.
Are you upset that I said real players? Because pitchers aren't real players. They only play every 5th day, right?
We may not be. I mean, we're on vacation most of the time.
Did Arthur Rhodes give you anything for the number?
No, you know what? That happened. That's kind of a custom.
Give you a quick stiff right hand to your face. That's what he told you, right? I'll tell you what I'll give you, young man.
It's a tradition, but it's usually when the player has worn it for a significant amount of time in 1 month and 4 days.
You could have said, "Look, I was born on the 46th of May."
You know what? Honestly, I gave him the thank you. I didn't like 53. I said, "Thank you for getting me a new number," which was 36. I got called up again in September, wore 36. Next year, I come back to spring training, and we had signed Paul Bird, free agent, and so he wore 36. Paul Bird takes 36. I get 57.
For Paul Bird stinks.
Well, you know,
I know you're not going to say it, but Paul Bird stinks. Everybody knows he
Paul
stinks.
Bird's a great guy.
I don't care if he's a great guy. When he's on the mound, it's a 50-50 proposition. That's not what you want.
Well, you got to have the numbers to back that up.
Now, let me ask you this. A guy like Paul Bird, who's a journeyman, average, below average pitcher, this is what makes you interesting to me. You're interesting. You're funny on Twitter. You came to my attention when I was hosting the Jim Rome show. People tweeted me that you rock out to like NSYNC and Justin Bieber before games. And then you and I started talking on Twitter.
Why don't you tell me what you said to me?
I said, you got to rock out to...
No, that's not what you said.
What did I say?
First thing you said to me was, why don't you, on your radio show, because I got phone calls on this.
The Jim Rome show?
On the Jim Rome radio show, I get phone calls that says, hey, do you know who Jay Mohr is? I said, yeah, Bob Sugar. He's all, no, I said, whatever.
But what did I say?
You said this guy needs to worry more about pitching and winning games than about listening to Backstreet Boys and Bieber.
You're damn right.
Absolutely.
I was right.
Nailed it spot on.
And I said to this poor guy, Jeremy Guthrie, who's an above average major league pitcher, twice you've led the league in losses. And it's not fair because you got asshats like Paul Bird walking around with a 10-11 or an 11-10 record their whole lives with an ERA of 5.8 or 6. And here's a guy, Jeremy Guthrie, with 17 losses, but his ERA is always like right at 4. And for those of you that are like, you know, not into baseball, it means you're a good pitcher. So it's just, I'm sure it confounds you way more than it confounds me that you're on the mound, you give up 2 runs, and you take the loss. How do you not sit in the dugout halfway through August and say, what the fuck is wrong with you guys? Hit the fucking ball, Vlad. Hey, Vlad, $20 million a year? Put one in the seats, asshole. I'm pitching my dick off out there, you fucking prick. How do you not say that?
Well, first of all, I don't swear, to reiterate. So I mean,
all right. Fair enough.
That's the start to that. Second of all, I do like Vladdy.
We all like Vlad.
Yeah, well, you know what? So I'm not going to yell at the guy.
Yeah, but when he has 10 home runs, you're like, well, why don't you have a couple of them when I start? Weeders. Have you ever spoken to a teammate like, hey, could you get me some runs today?
Adam Jones.
Really?
I tell him to clean it up because he tells me to clean it up when I suck. He said, clean your crap up. But he doesn't say it like that.
Almost cursed.
I didn't almost curse. Why? Come on.
But when you suck, you're still better than most of the guys